This is the scariest prison in history. There is no way any prisoner can escape from here, as this prison is not on the ground, but in space. Inside this prison, known as MS-1, are 500 of the world's worst criminals. They are locked up in cryogenic chambers for decades or for hundreds of years, and they experience loneliness in these chambers. But this horrible prison was about to come to an end. On that day, MS-1 had a special guest, Emily, who looked like an ordinary reporter, but was actually the daughter of the sitting president. There were rumors that MS-1 treated its prisoners very inhumanely, so Emily came here to investigate. The warden is under the power of the president's daughter. When Emily entered, the MS-1 guards told them that they couldn't carry any weapons. However, the guard had hidden a pistol for Emily's safety. Soon, Emily started interviewing the prisoner, Heidel. He kept spouting obscenities and even teased the beautiful Emily. However, the bodyguard couldn't take it anymore and beat Heidel up. What he doesn't realize is that Heidel is actually a mugging. He took the bodyguard's gun and shot the bodyguard, hitting a pipe and making it explode. Heidel managed to break free from his chains. Emily tries to escape, but Heidel catches up with her and shoots her in the thigh. Emily tried to run away with her wound. She panics and accidentally arrives at the control center, where she hides under a table. At this point, Heidel arrives and, seeing the many cryo cells in the prison, he enters and threatens the administrator, telling him to open all the doors. At the risk of his life, the administrator complied. The other inmates escape. When the warden heard the alarm, he immediately signaled the guards to prepare to put down the rebellion. But the prisoners were numerous and ferocious. All the staff, including the warden, became hostages of the prisoners. Emily was still found by Heidel, and just as he was about to do something to Emily, a bearded man, Alex, appeared and stopped Heidel. He is not only Heidel's brother, but also the leader of the prisoners. Now Emily, as an important hostage, cannot be harmed. Meanwhile, the command on Earth detected an anomaly in MS-1 and immediately sent fighters to patrol. The prisoners forced the administrators to activate MS-1's automatic defense mechanism. Under heavy fire, all the fighters were shot down. The president learns that his daughter has been kidnapped by the prisoners and immediately calls in 2 top Secret Service officials to discuss a rescue plan. Langrel suggested sending his elite troops to break in and rescue her, but there was a danger that the prisoners would put up a fight, and Emily would be in danger. Harry disagreed, and said that it would be better to send just one person to sneak in and rescue Emily. In the end, the president agrees with Harry. But who would be sent on this dangerous mission? Harry smiled and said that he had the right person for the job, Snow, a former top agent. He had been on a mission 3 months ago to rescue an undercover special agent. However, after he fought with the criminals and managed to kill them, the undercover agent was already dying, and before dying, he handed Snow a briefcase and also matches and asked him to take good care of it. While Snow was confused, a group of troops arrived. Snow could only keep dodging, even using an armed helicopter. Snow jumped off the roof, but hit the window and landed on the ground. Fortunately, he was very tough, so he was unharmed. Snow escaped with a suitcase, jumping into an underground station as they continued to hunt him down. His friend Mace came to meet him. However, just as he was about to get into the subway, he was captured. Luckily, his suitcase was thrown underground and fell into Mace's hands. It was then that Snow realized that he had been captured by his colleagues and was mysteriously accused of the murder of an undercover agent. No matter how much Snow tried to explain, his superior Langrel wouldn't listen to him and told him to confess. Snow refused to comply and was eventually sentenced to 30 years in MS-1. However, the night before he left, there was a riot in MS-1. Harry thought this would be a good opportunity for Snow to work again, but the dangers of the mission were great. Snow, of course, would not agree to it. However, Harry secretly signaled to him that Mace was in MS-1 at the moment. Snow understands that Mace and the box are the only chance to clear his name, so he can only agree. Meanwhile, Alex takes full control of MS-1 and offers to negotiate with the secret agents. To threaten them, Heidel throws the warden into a room and instantly freezes him into ice. Snow, who was on the scene, was ready to leave. Alex had thought Emily was a doctor, and it seemed that they hadn't figured out her identity yet. Now was a good time to make a rescue. So Langrel decided to do both. He sent a negotiator to MS-1 and at the same time used the goggles as a camera. The negotiator made it to MS-1. He secretly negotiated with Alex that it was impossible to get the government to release all the prisoners, but he could consider releasing 4 or 5 people. There was a proposal to release some people, but the first thing to do was to offer goodwill, such as releasing injured hostages. Alex really listened, and Emily was the right choice. Just when the negotiators were about to resolve the issue successfully, Heidel suddenly appeared and said that Emily was his prey and he wouldn't let her go easily. Alex is furious and wants to teach his ungrateful brother a lesson. Unexpectedly, Heidel shoots her female assistant, and now they have a seriously injured female hostage. The boss on the ground, seeing that his plan failed, sent Snow, who was hanging from the shuttle. He jumps into the prison before anyone can see him, but he is found and reported to Alex. When he learns that he has been tricked, Alex is furious and shoots the negotiator, then orders him to take Emily away. On the other side, Snow, according to the instructions from Harry, secretly came to the prison. At this time, Emily and the bodyguard looked at each other and took out the fire extinguisher to attack the bald man. However, the bald man was so big that even if they fought together, they were still no match for him. Just as the bodyguard was about to be shot, the elevator doors opened and Snow appeared, knocking the bald man down with a punch, and then fought him. Unfortunately, Snow was no match for him either, but luckily he was well equipped and took out a bomb and placed it around the bald man's neck. There was a loud explosion, and the bald man was taken down, but before Snow could get up, he was hit by a panicked Emily. The bodyguard took her to the secret room and shot the access lock, but they didn't know that the room's oxygen consumption was accelerated, which could only last for 5 minutes. Snow, under Harry's guidance, prepared to enter from above. At this time, the oxygen in the room was almost exhausted. In order to keep Emily alive, the bodyguard chose to shoot himself. Emily lay on the ground inhaling the last of her oxygen. At the right moment, Snow descended from the ceiling. Snow first used a shock device for Emily, then injected liquid into her eyeballs. As Emily convulsed, she returned to normal. Snow took Emily through the tunnel. On the other side, Alex forces the engineer to use electromagnetic interference to cut off Snow's communication. Snow now blindly searches for a way out, and the two of them fall into a room that turns out to be a medical room. Snow first bandages Emily's wound and injects her with a freezing liquid, which temporarily stops the pain in her thigh. Then, despite Emily's refusal, Snow forces her to dye her hair to make it look less conspicuous. Meanwhile, Alex also learns Emily's identity and contacts the government again to use her as a bargaining chip. Before taking his men after Snow, Heidel brings his men to guard the hostages. Snow and Emily put on prisoner clothing and prepared to pass through where the inmates were gathered. But the prisoners were smart and soon realized their disguises, so they could only fight and flee, entering a room to hide. It was here that Snow found his friend Mace. But strangely, Mace didn't recognize himself. Emily explained that it was because of the freezing effect, and that was why she was here for the interview. Snow asks Mace about the whereabouts of the suitcase, but Mace struggles to remember. The prisoners outside begin to break down the door. The trio escaped again. Unfortunately, the MS-1 crashed into the satellite and destroyed it instantly. While Snow and Emily managed to escape, Mace remained in the room. He kept saying some unrelated words and then froze into ice. He watched his friend die on the spot. Snow was devastated, but his main priority now was to get Emily out of there. Meanwhile, Command on Earth has discovered that MS-1's collision with the satellite was not an accident, but a sign that the satellite is out of control, and if left unchecked, MS-1 will head towards Earth with even more dire consequences. So Langrel sent a fleet of bombers just in case. Emily and Snow managed to find the emergency capsule, but there was only one seat. Snow lied that there was another capsule and asked Emily to get into the capsule. While Snow was daydreaming, Emily suddenly appeared. She knew that if she left, the entire MS-1 would be bombed. There was nothing they could do. They could only think of another way to leave. When they were looking for a way out, Heidel's figure suddenly appeared on the computer screen, and he used the hostage's life to force Emily to appear. Emily, who couldn't stand it, simply told him her location, and Heidel went berserk and killed all the hostages. The elevator suddenly stopped, and when he peeked out, he saw a laboratory. It was obvious that MS-1 was using the captives for human experiments. MS-1 was secretly doing this, but then a gun was put to the back of his head, and Alex came in with his men. Snow tried to fight back, but he was hit by a bullet and fell. Emily is brought back to the control center. Alex is furious to see the bodies on the floor. They were hostages, but Heidel killed them instead. Luckily, they still have their hostage, Emily. Alex restores communication and asks Emily to intervene to stop the attack on MS-1, but Emily tells her father to destroy MS-1. Alex is furious and slaps Emily. On the other side of the room, Snow is shot, but he is wearing a bulletproof vest and survives. At the command center, Langrel asks the president to order the attack, but the president is worried about his daughter and adamantly disagrees. But Langrel is ready. In accordance with the Constitution, he temporarily removes the president's power and orders the attack. Alex knew that the situation was urgent, but he couldn't do anything about it, and he could only scold Heidel for causing trouble. However, Heidel finished him off and then shot the others. However, at this point, Heidel is still obsessed with Emily. Emily then burns Heidel with a lighter, and Heidel gets angry and tries to do something about it. Fortunately, Snow arrived in the nick of time, knocked Heidel out, and took Emily away. They both find 2 pairs of special clothes according to Harry's instructions. Meanwhile, the bomber manages to plant a bomb inside the MS-1. Shortly before the explosion, they both manage to escape and land on Earth. They were rescued. However, Snow was immediately taken away by the police, and although he made it, he was still a prisoner. Emily researched and found a suitcase in the underground station corresponding to Mace's last words, and analyzed that Snow was not a traitor. That day, Harry came to visit Snow. Snow took out the suitcase. Harry didn't hesitate to open it but found it empty. Snow then questioned how he knew the combination of the suitcase. Harry stopped pretending and admitted that he was the traitor, that he had sold the information for money. Snow is acquitted of all charges and gets out of prison. He was about to smoke when he got his lighter back, and when he opened it, there was a memory card inside. Snow suddenly remembered that it was the lighter that the undercover agent had asked him to keep, and the memory card must have contained a lot of evidence of the crime. Then Emily appears, and the 2 of them smile at each other, and go about their lives as usual, and the movie ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.